So, Porn Stash McGee over here is going to tell us about the flat earth theory.
Well, the flat earth theory posits, there we go, that the earth is not a globe, as you have come to know it, but is in fact a flat disc-like shape. Let me show you here. It's kind of a lot like this. Yeah. It suggests that the Earth's land masses lie flat. And to better understand this, let's go all the way back to the Bedford level experiment with Samuel Rowbotham. So let's go to the chalkboard in the Bedford level experiment. Sir Samuel Rowbotham, don't know if that's how it's pronounced, kicked off this whole flat earth thing with the Bedford level experiment. I'll write it here. Bedford level X. This is the loudest thing in the world. Experiment. What he did.
Okay, so there was a Cat Brony question about how can I call it a pear-shaped planet. I don't actually say pear-shaped. I feel like all that does is muddy the waters, and it really causes confusion on people. What Neil deGrasse Tyson means when he says that is just that it's thicker on the bottom than it is on the top, and so therefore it's like a pear. It doesn't look like the physical shape of a pear. So I wouldn't say pear-shaped because of how people confuse it, but whatever.
Is he started on a long river, and he stood here, this is him, with a telescope. Boop, 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 boop. And he had his friend in a boat, boop, 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 ride a number of miles down the river. So this was what he was suggesting. Because of the curve of the globe, he shouldn't be able to see his friend after about 6 miles. The top of the sail should have been about 11 feet under his view, but instead, he saw his friend go like more than 6 miles. The whole time he saw the whole boat and the whole thing just like this. That led him to thinking that Earth is not a globe.
Okay, so this is the Bedford level experiment. And yes, Prince Thunderflare, it was exposed as a fraud by another surveyor. What's actually happening here is that it's a very curious case where light can bend over the curvature of the Earth. If you look at how mirages happen, it's the same thing. Basically, the light coming from the boat doesn't go in a straight fashion. The particles and whatnot that are resting on top of the waters in a certain state will actually cause the light to bend over the Earth's curve, and so basically you see a mirage. You can still see the entire boat because you're actually seeing through the water. That just how mirages work. Like you see past the water or whatnot because of the way that the light bends towards the Earth. So the Bedford level experiment from the very beginning was proved wrong, but through a campaign of libelous claims and defamatory statements and a lot of legalities, they went after the scientists that proved this Rowbotham guy, that tried to show that the Earth was flat. That this Rowbotham guy took the scientists that debunked him and just ran his name through the mud and a whole bunch of legal proceedings and everything like that. So, I mean, this guy right here, though, is not going to present the counter evidence to the Bedford level experiment. He just presents it like, oh, this guy did this experiment and boom. I don't know. How do you explain that? Globies? Globetards?
Wait, globe. There we go. This is where it gets a little wacky. He published these findings in a book called Earth, Not a Globe. The tricky thing is that he published these findings under the name Parallax. Why? I don't know.
What he's also leaving out is that he was doing this in order to use the Bible to prove that the geocentric system is the real system, that the sun and everything revolves around the Earth is flat, via the Bible. So basically he was challenging modern astronomy to a pissing contest, but he forgot to drink his water, and he didn't have anything to really piss.
Now, if you think this sounds crazy,
even 200 years ago, flat earthers fought dirty. They did. And I've actually got an interview with the flat earther guy where it shows exactly how impossible it is to talk to somebody like that. And so hopefully you guys will enjoy that.
Easy. It's important to note that a lot of people are actually in the same school of thought as parallax.
Oh, some flat earth believers. Okay. I don't know what the fuck.
Possibly Kyrie Irving, Tila Tequila, and B.O.B. And this is where people kind of hit the wall on the flat earth thing. Where's the edge? Wonderful question. I've got answers.
No, you don't have. Well, you have answers as to how they view the ice wall or whatnot, which is what he's going to bring up. He's going to bring up the ice wall and whatnot. But I just have to say, I love it how it's like the most uneducated people are the ones being like, "Yo, it's flat, fam. Come on, fuckers, it's flat." And you got B.O.B. standing atop this big rock formation looking out at two cities. And it's like, where the curve, yo? And it's like, apparently that's supposed to disprove like all of astrophysics and geology, science, just all of it. Him standing on a rock formation apparently is tantamount to scientific evidence for these people. And it's just fucking ridiculous.
So, to explain, this is essentially what the shape of the flat earth looks like. And of course, if these are the edges, your next question would be like, well, why haven't we fallen off?
The earth is a pizza. I just want to throw that out there.
Well, that brings me to the ice wall.
Oh, the ice wall.
Using my handy dandy modeling clay for children, I'm gonna explain. Once you got the land masses, and they're all there, they have...
And they're all there. I like how he has the Play-Doh equivalent of that flat earth hippie drawing.
This ice wall. Now, forgive me for saying flat earthers. I haven't fully made my mind up yet. I really would like to get around this because this is just so cool.
Okay, so this is the point where you need to clarify that you're being a Poe, like in some fashion. Saying that I don't know where I stand on this, or I don't know what to believe. It's not that it's an unacceptable answer, but it leaves you open to people thinking that you actually believe this stuff. So I'm fine if you want to be on the fence about whether or not we live on a globe, Earth. I mean, honestly, I think that you have to do a lot of mental gymnastics in order to do that. But at the same time, basically, you're giving people the ability to call you a dumbass in your own video. And speaking from a dumbass perspective of mine, I would say that you don't need to do that. I strive not to do that, and I still do it. I did call myself a dumbass.
And so, this is what they believe it looks like. So you got your Canada, US, Mexico, there's South America in there.
Yeah, where is Australia there, bud? I like how the editor's calling them out. Like, these are all the continents right here, except for fucking Australia. Fuck that place.
And then in Russia, the other big old landmass. They believe that the Antarctic surrounds the Earth and keeps...
And is guarded by the penguins with the assault rifles. Thank you, Cat Brony, for reminding me of those armed penguins. The armed penguin militia of the ice wall, keeping us safe since 18 what the fuck ever.
The water in between the ice mass, just like this. Look at that. These are the principles of the Flat Earth Society.
And they work. Look, it holds in water. Holy shit, maybe it really is a fucking flat Earth. Except for the fact that we've sailed all the way around the Antarctic. We have expeditions that go out there regularly. Despite what flat earthers say, you can go down there and visit, albeit it's very expensive. Woo! I don't know. I don't understand. Like, I feel like he's trying to do like an argument from absurdity here. Like, oh hey, look at this little pizza spinny thing with Play-Doh. This proves a flat Earth. I don't know if that's what he's trying to do or whatnot, but he's like, it makes fucking sense.
Honestly, seeing it like this, it's not so crazy. We understand the ice
It is fucking crazy. Thank you very much.
walls, we got all that figured out. You might say, what about the seasons?
I want to know about the seasons, Porn Stash McGee.
This is the most enjoyable part of the flat Earth theory. It is actually suggested that the sun spins around the Earth. I'm actually doing the opposite of that, but you know, give me a break, you can figure it out. the seasons changing when the sun is closer and further from the earth.
Now, I do like the fact that he's using an actual flashlight instead of like a bare bulb. Because if he used a bare bulb, you would see how it doesn't make sense with light protruding in all directions, the light dispersal pattern that all flat Earth maps have. They have this weird dispersal pattern. He's also not going to explain how it doesn't make sense how you can have as much heat as the sun puts out being that close to the Earth. It also doesn't explain where the fucking stars are and all this other shit out there. It doesn't explain, like, he doesn't mention here how it only causes more questions to be asked and how it doesn't answer a lot of things that we see in nature. See, this is the essential problem that I have with the Buzzfeed video here, is the fact that he's presenting this uncontested. And he really needs to tell people how many questions this actually raises and why it doesn't make sense. It's the most interesting part because it's the craziest fucking part of all of it.
Come to the dark side.